Hello, everybody. I'm gonna do a collective for August. Let's see what Spirit has to say about what to expect during August in general, obviously. So this is gonna be even more general than the general reads because I'm not gonna break it up by elements. This is truly a complete collective reading for August. So let's see what comes out. All right, let's see. Oh, we're ready. So rest and rejuvenate. Right? Looks like August is gonna be a time to get your mind right. Get your chakras aligned. All right. What else do we have here for the collective for the month of August? What else do we have here for the collective for the month of August? Throat chakra. Meditate on that. You have wisdom, which is, exactly what it says. There's a lot of things that come from experience, come from knowledge, inner knowledge, things you learn as you go along the way, things that then you can share with others. Kind of like think of when your parents tell you, I don't want you to make the same mistakes I made, and they're giving you this advice. And sometimes, we stubborn children want to still do what we wanted to do because, sometimes you have to experience things on your own. That's how you get wise. But in this case, it's more like you're the teacher, or should I say you're ready to learn and the teacher shows up, so pay attention to the people around you, the stuff that they say. And then with rest and rejuvenation right next to it, I feel like it's just gonna be time for you to process everything that you're learning, okay? I'm gonna see what all these cards have to say. I feel like, excuse me, that was good enough. Bottom of the deck, you have triumphant success, the Ace of Swords, which practically is just about he's coming out of the ground, okay? This is what's different about this one. And, there's different sky colors on each side of the sword. So it's almost like, kind of like the lotus flower that grows out of the mud. All the knowledge that you're learning from your experiences, from your bad experiences. It's like they say, when you feel like everything's falling apart, when you feel like you're just drowning in your problems or whatever it is. I've seen a meme or something floating around that says, you're not being suffocated, you're being planted, and when you're planted, you grow, right? So everything you go through, you grow from. So I feel like this is the perfect image for that, because he's literally coming out with the sword of truth. So going through what you went through has helped you gain the wisdom to see the path in front of you, to be able to decipher the good, the bad, who's supposed to be around you, who's not. And with the rest and rejuvenate, I feel like that's just reiterating that same concept. All right, so it looks like August is gonna be a month to really learn yourself and figure out what lessons, kind of like look at the silver lining per se. So you have the sacral and the base chakra along with the throat chakra. All right, so grounding yourself, finding that what gives you the energy, the willpower, the control over yourself, your beliefs, your structure, with the sacral chakra being here. With the base chakra, this is like the sexuality, your actions, your sex drive, your things that kind of make you feel connected to other people. But when you're resting and rejuvenating, notice he's out in nature, okay? Maybe it's time to kind of ground yourself, go back to nature. And I think in one of my element videos, reading videos that I did, I speak about that. Like, take your shoes off when you go to a park and kind of, sink your feet into the grass or, the sand on the beach, and just kind of take the moment to take nature and reconnect with nature, okay? And the throat chakra being speak your truth, all right? Don't be afraid if something bothers you or whatever it is. Speak your truth, all right? So here we have disconnect and boredom, we have mental conflict, we have harmony, we have suffering in silence, which I recall it was the next one that came out before all these other ones. All right, you have spiritual strength, spiritual union, emotional loss, partnerships and alliances, patience. So that's already 3 major arcana. So I'm just gonna put the major arcana down the middle here. Like you, as you already know, if you've seen enough of my videos, my spreads have no rhyme or reason except for my intuitive way of putting them together. Patience and planning, and you have material and spiritual prosperity. So I want to say, I'm gonna leave that like that. I want to leave this like that. And then I'm gonna add this at the bottom here, because I'm gonna add these back on the top, but I'm just gonna put them so that I know what cards I'm looking at. Okay, so what I'm sensing from the overall message here for August, okay, as I said before, it's taking your experiences, the things that really, unfortunately, we learn more when we're going through something than when everything's peaches and cream. It's kind of like, you know, if you pray, you tend to pray, ask God for help when you need help. You know, you should be always saying even thank you. You know, pray for because you want to say thank you, not because you always need something. But unfortunately, with the way things are nowadays, we tend to learn from when we go through a bad experience. All right. The good experiences, we take them as pleasure. That being said, you know, the suffering in silence to mental conflict here, and then the emotional loss. If you see this, the imagery on the emotional loss, okay, he's holding his heart, and it has the shape of a shell, a conch. If you could think about, you know, when you pick up that big conch seashell and you put it to your ear and you hear the ocean waves, like that echo in the emptiness of it. So suffering in silence with that echo in the emptiness in your heart, it's like you keep replaying the scenarios over and over and over in your head, which is causing that mental conflict, which is causing you to not live the moments. You're disconnected. It seems like you're bored with the situation, but I feel you're just suffering in silence. Okay, I feel like these cards are all connected. I feel as if, you know, you are really taking the time to feel what you're feeling, and you kind of don't like it. And obviously we all want to feel better in the long run, right? So I feel like, you know, you're taking this and you're turning it into your wisdom. You're growing from it. It's building a better you, a stronger you, emotionally, spiritually, internally, you're becoming stronger, a stronger person. And as you're becoming a stronger person, you know, you're starting to really have the foundation with the 2 columns here to really be able to see forward and start to see a path with the sword that you feel you need to take, the path that you feel is gonna bring you out of the situation that got you kind of like all stuck on stupid. Okay, but by doing that, all right, you are gonna start to find that, you know, you need people in your life, that be your friends, co-workers, whatever it is. Whatever path it is that you decide to take, you realize you can't take the path completely alone. You need allies. You need people who are going to be there for you. Let's say you want to relocate. You need someone that's going to help you, you know, when you get there. You know, your mom, your dad, cousins, whatever it is, friends, whatever. But you're starting to realize that you can't get to your next phase without the assistance of somebody. All right, and it's not a handout. Okay, I'm not saying you got to get handouts or anything like that. You just need that guidance. Okay, that wisdom. Like they say, when you're ready, the teacher appears, and this teacher is gonna be your ally. This is the person that's gonna help you see the brighter side of everything you're going through. Who's gonna bring you to the realization that in order to prosper, okay, to have that material and spiritual prosperity, you have to be good within yourself. Excuse me, which is where the harmony card comes in. I don't feel that this is finding a soulmate like, you know, it typically would mean. I feel as if you're finding yourself. Okay, I feel as if in this particular reading, this card is signifying your inner masculine, feminine energies. We all have them, and you're starting to find that balance. You're starting to come in harmony, because when you're all in your head and you're starting to suffer, you're more in your feminine side, you're in the emotional side, you lose the logical side, which is your masculine. And I feel like, you know, you're starting to learn your lesson, and you're starting to find that balance with harmony, and all in due time. You're also starting to realize that the process takes time. It's not something that's just gonna happen overnight. It's not something that's just gonna, you flip a switch and boom, it's done. I mean, some people could pretend that that's how it works, but in all reality, you're just suppressing emotions. You're suppressing, you know, the trauma that you've lived through, and you haven't learned your lesson. So it's gonna present itself again. If you take the time to really face what it is you're going through, balance yourself, listen to your heart, you know, find people that are gonna help you, guide you in the right direction, build yourself up in strength, then that's gonna start to reflect in due time. With the patience card being here, it's gonna start to reflect on your material and spiritual prosperity. So you're gonna be happy from within, and it's gonna start to reflect on your material world outside of you. And that's what's gonna bring about your spiritual union. Your cup, you're gonna be giving from a full cup. That's the only way that you could invite or allow love in. All right. Hey, that's actually a pretty dope reading for my collective. So for all you sufferers out there, all right, don't despair. August seems like the month where you're actually gonna start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And if you've been in, you know, in the upper end of things, and you're very happy and everything's going well, address your shadows. Okay, address the things that you refuse to admit, your flaws, whatever it is, the things that in the back of your head talk to you and, you know, tells you whatever. Balance yourself, meditate, get yourself together, and the whole, you know, the fuller you are, the more that you can share with other people. That's all that gotta be said. All right, so I'll see you on the other side. Peace.